All right, let's get started now. This is going to be my first ever motovlog. Well, more of depending on how this video turns out with the angle and everything like that. It seemed like it was good whenever I checked it on my phone, but I'm going to give a short little review on the MT07. A couple of the mods that I have made to it, and maybe some more to come, but who knows. Not sure if I'm going to make any more or not. I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. Probably the most that's going to happen is going to be, you know, tires and standardized services and everything like that. I just actually took it in this morning. I had a nice 32-degree ride this morning to do a 5,000 mile service on it. So I mean, by the time I pulled up, it was already a little over 5,000, but we're gonna see how it goes. They said everything on the bike looked great, everything was good to go, there was no issues. Obviously the cold weather is making the battery kind of not necessarily short out, but more of the cold cranking amps aren't where they need to be, so it's kind of sluggish whenever it starts up. But I know for a fact it's due to the cold weather, so I'm not super concerned with trying to change out the battery right now. And of course we're gonna get stuck by the red light. All right, no problem. Pop her in neutral. I can hear sirens. Don't know which way they're coming from, but you know, they're not behind me. Oh, there they are. The old Wambalam. But anyways, so I bought this bike used with 3,100 miles on it. I am currently sitting at 5,086. Like I said, I just did the 5,000 mile services today. It cost me just over $300. So, I mean, I wasn't really happy about the price, but it is what it is to keep the bike running properly. You know, they check everything. They ensure all bolts are torqued to spec, from the exhaust to anything on the engine. They checked the spark plug, did the oil change, changed out the oil filter, checked the fuel. You know, everything you could think of they did. They checked the tires. They added just a little bit of air pressure. I think I was like a pound off, but it wasn't really that bad. It's been riding great the whole time, so I haven't had a need to put any type of air or anything like that in it. But yeah, so I bought the bike used. It had a aftermarket eBay SC Projects exhaust on it. It was super loud, but it was obviously a fake. But with it being so loud, I had to put the baffle back in it. And once I put the baffle back in it, there was so much heat on the exhaust itself coming from the motor that the paint started chipping. So I didn't like it. I tried to respray it. And after I resprayed it with a high temp paint, I set it the way it was supposed to be. I sanded it down. I did everything like it was supposed to. The paint still chipped on it. So I went ahead and I bought the Yoshimura R77 full exhaust. And the sound of this compared to the SC Projects, in my opinion, is like 10 times better. But you know, like, everybody's got their own opinions. I changed out the seat from the original seat, the stock seat that it comes with, to the comfort seat. I took my wife for a ride with the original seat on it, and she told me that she was absolutely uncomfortable. My saddle wasn't bad, but to, you know, make it a nice, easy, smooth ride for her, I went ahead and bought the comfort seat set. So I got the comfort seat on it, and it's amazing. It is amazing. Let's see. I took the bug eye mirrors off. I put the bar end mirrors, but I had to order the Rhino Moto bar end adapters, so it's got the sliders on it as well now. I've got TST Industries fender eliminator kit, so I got the one that you tuck all the way in. Love it. It looks great. I put the light on it and everything. I've had zero issues with it. No cops have been pulling me over, which I haven't really been out, you know, gooning around or anything like that on it. The bar end mirrors, they're not bad at low speeds. Once I get into the highway, they vibrate like crazy, so I can't really see anything behind me. But at the same time, that's why during the MSF course they tell you to use your mirrors and look over your shoulder. So basically it just goes to looking over the shoulders. They're kind of more of just a cosmetic that I like, because it looks a lot better than having the bug eyes on it. I added the Rockform phone holder for, you know, GPS use, and when I play music, which I'm not playing now, you know, I don't want to do any of the copyright stuff because I don't even know how to really do that right now. But yeah, I got the TST Industries front turn signals. Can't remember exactly what they are. I got the TST Industries integrated tail light, so I don't have turn signals on the back like they come stock with the big old, what we call whale tail, or at least I call it a whale tail. I don't know if everybody calls it, but with a big old whale tail on there. So yeah, that's really all I've done to it. I haven't done like the DNA air filter or anything like that. I haven't remapped it. It pops and crackles every once in a while, but it's not like I'm out here shooting fire and flames and all the what I call high school kid stuff. But you know, like I'm out here, this is my first ever street bike, and I've absolutely loved it. It's the MT07. It's a 2022. I have the Puig front fairing on it. It kind of helps with the wind a little bit on the highway, but not very much. The guy I bought it off of, he had an off-brand, like taller front fairing and stuff, but I think the low profile looks a lot better than the other one did. If you don't like it, that's on you. As far as this being a beginner bike, I mean, I'm not a beginner as far as riding clutch. I've, you know, ridden dirt bikes and four-wheelers. Everything always had clutches whenever I was growing up. There was no need for me to have to learn, so I'm not out here gonna whiskey throttle or anything like that. But if you have no experience whatsoever with a clutch, I would suggest finding somebody with like a little 250, possibly dirt bike, maybe a four-wheeler, something like that, just to get a feel for a clutch. That way you don't go out, buy, like this bike is equivalent to a 700. I think it's like 689, but this thing has a lot of torque. So if you were to dump the clutch, then like you're gonna find yourself on your back very, very quickly. So I would suggest trying to find somebody that's got a motorcycle or a dirt bike and seeing if they can teach you how to ride a clutch before you even attempt to really ride on the roads. Like grass is a lot softer to fall in than it's gonna be on the asphalt. I've personally never had any wreck, you know, knock on wood. I don't want to. I don't want to have to test the gear out. I'm rocking just some Alpine Star gloves right now. My other gloves are a little bit warmer, but today's not a bad day. It's a little chilly whenever you're in the wind, but it's not anything bad. Like it's fine. I'm rocking a Sedisi jacket. It's got grade 3 armor in it, you know, CE protection. I got a Sedisi helmet with the Sena Pro 6 Bluetooth integrated into it. I've had issues out of the Bluetooth. A lot of people have, but I mean, it's one of those things, like you start playing with it, trying to get it to charge, it doesn't want to charge. Then eventually you'll figure out you can hit the reset button, it won't charge. You can hit the reset button, it won't charge. And then I've gotten to where it tells me battery level low, it'll turn off. I'll try to charge it, it'll charge for like maybe 15 seconds and then goes blue showing it's fully charged. But the other night I had to charge it because it did die on me. I turned it on, it told me battery level low, goodbye. I turned it back on, it said battery level low, goodbye. I turned it on one more time, it said battery level low, phone connected. So at that point I turned it back off, I plugged it into the charger, and it charged all the way up to 80%. I checked it with my phone, I connected the Bluetooth, so it showed 80%. But whenever I turned it on, it also said phone connected, low battery. So I turned it back off and I turned it back on, it said phone connected, and it never said low battery. So it's something to do with the system. I don't know if Cena's ever going to fix it. I don't know. I haven't been able to actually find this particular model anywhere as far as being for sale. So this is something that Cena and Sadisi kind of came into play with to, I guess, make the helmet itself. I've got the transition lens on the front of the helmet. I do have a pin lock. It makes great for if I have to ride. Like this morning, when my visor and everything was fogging up, it was pretty rough. But with that pin lock, it traps air in behind it, so the air doesn't actually escape or anything like that, so it holds the air. So that portion of my actual visor did not fog up, and I was grateful for it. Everything else around the sides was all fogged up. I couldn't really look out like my peripherals because everything was fogged up, but with the pin lock you get a great view anyways. As long as I can see straight, like, I'm good. Like, I'm not super concerned with it. But yeah, as far as the motorcycle itself, like, I've absolutely loved this thing. The services I did today were the first services I've had to do. And then I've been stuck in traffic, as you can see, this entire time, so I can't even really goon out. I might be able to goon out right now if that car will turn, so y'all can hear a little bit of the exhaust. Just a touch. Just to get a feel. Like, this thing will get up and go very, very quickly. And like I said, like, as far as a beginner bike, if you're brand new to riding a clutch, never rode clutch before, I would not suggest it personally. Just because of the amount of torque. If you dump the clutch, your front wheel will come up. You can get the front wheel up on this thing, honestly, if you just pull the gas a little bit too hard and you're in a lower gear than what you need to be. There's enough torque, it will pull the front wheel if you're not cautious. If you're trying to become a stunt rider, I would get one of these used, and you can get a full cage on it and everything like that, and like, you can drop the thing and it's not even going to do anything. So like, I would 100% suggest using this bike. But as far as beginner, if you have experience with a clutch, you're smart about the throttle control, and you know how to brake and shift and all that good stuff, I 100%, like, you will be fine on this bike with it being your first actual street bike. But you got to know how to use an actual clutch before you do any of that stuff. But I'm about to pull up to my house now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll try to produce more content later.